the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on HANradio.com.
It's Monday, May 18th, and this is your coffee break live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan. I'm Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach, Rob Adams, and several members of our HAN network team are here hanging out. John, we're going to be bringing someone from the store on later in the show to tell us a little bit more. Weed and Duryea has a long history, and we're here in the showroom right now, the home showroom.
I'm never going to be able to go back to our studio.
I know.
Not without the granite countertops and the dark wood
It's
behind
beautiful.
us. This is what we need for a studio.
I agree. And New Canaan Advertiser editor Greg Riley is going to be joining us later in the show, too. We also have a lot of news, sports to get to. But, Rob, what's happening on the roads right now?
We've got some traffic problems, as you know, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
We were gonna go to Kate for a one-word traffic report, but we decided we were better off not doing that because we didn't know what word she would use.
Blood-curdling scream.
In any event, we've got road work in Manchester upstate, 291 westbound at exit 5, road work in New Britain on Route 9 south at exit 30, road work in Hartford on I-84 westbound at exit 39A, in Danbury still having that road work on 84 eastbound at exit 7. Now that's Route 7, that's the left lane split there in Danbury, but they've been milling and really working on 84 for quite a while around Danbury. In fact, I saw quite a bit of it the other night. Moving on to Southbury, 84 eastbound at exit 13. In Groton, 95 south at exit 88, as well as road work throughout the state in Cromwell, Fairfield on the Merritt Parkway south at exit 44, which is probably where Kate got hung up this morning, and in Middletown, that's Route 9 south at exit 10. As we check your weather on this Monday morning, you know, a couple of us walked out in shorts this morning, and I'm rethinking that decision. Mostly cloudy, isolated showers late this morning, patchy fog later in the morning, cooler, near steady temperatures around 60. East wind around 10 miles per hour with a chance of rain 20%. Now, we don't want that rain, and there's a reason for that. Mostly cloudy tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms this evening, then a chance of showers after midnight, areas of fog after midnight with lows in the mid-50s. Showers likely, chance of thunderstorms as we start your Tuesday with a high of 72, 54, and a chance of showers with clouds tomorrow night. Sunny, upper 60s for Wednesday, partly cloudy, low in the upper 40s for Wednesday night, 69 and sunny for your Thursday. 62 degrees right now here in New Canaan, where we don't want the rain since we've got a baseball game later on, and in that regard we can send a hello to Stephen Barston, who's going to be the starting pitcher for the Darien Blue Wave against the New Canaan Rams here on HAN Radio, as well as Alex Hager, both joining us here as interns on HAN Radio, and they'll both be part of Nutmeg Sports in one form or another a little later today. But that's it for traffic and weather. 11:05 coffee break time as we send it back to Kate.
Thanks, Rob. Well, John, what's happening in the news this morning?
Kate, a body was pulled from the Pequannock River in Bridgeport late Sunday afternoon in front of dozens of people at a waterfront park along Knowlton Street. Police said there were no signs of trauma and that the 34-year-old man was pulled from the water by city firefighters. Police were alerted to the body by witnesses who reported it. The body was found around 4:30 Sunday afternoon. The male, whose identity has not been released, was wearing an orange shirt, blue jeans, boxers, a tan belt, and a baseball hat. We'll be following this story as the identity is released.
Thanks, John. Well, Weston voters Saturday approved the $48.5 million school operating budget, 688 to 313. The budget represents a 2.4% increase. The approved budget is $100,000 less than the school board's original request, which voters rejected last month by just 5 votes, 132 to 127. Nearly 4 times as many voters came out to vote Saturday compared with the first referendum, which which was only a 4.43% turnout. Turnout represents about 16.71% of the town's 5,844 registered voters. Democratic Registrar of Voters Laura Smits said there were also 24 people who voted off the grand list, not registered but eligible to vote because they own at least $1,000 worth of property in town. There were also 90 absentee ballots cast. The town's operating, capital, and debt service budgets were already approved. Now that the school budget has passed as well, the total net 2015-16 budget is about $65.6 million, a 2.13% overall budget increase. The expected tax increase is 1.52%. Coffee break time is 11:06.
Milford police arrested a Bridgeport man Saturday morning around 1:45 after he was found burglarizing a Milford Point Road house. According to a brief police report, Milford Point Road residents found a man inside their house and told police he fled with valuables, including cell phones, cash, and personal belongings. Police found 31-year-old Sergio Riccardi of Bridgeport with the assistance of Bridgeport police, and he was taken into custody. Riccardi was charged with first-degree burglary, larceny, criminal mischief, and credit card theft. He was held on a $75,000 bond.
Thanks, John. A Bridgeport man is facing numerous charges after police said he stole payment checks from a Monroe daycare center. On January 20th, Monroe police received a report of stolen payments from a local daycare facility. Customers of the facility had made payments by dropping checks in a metal security box located in the reception area. 3 of these checks were found to be stolen and 2 were later cashed. A police investigation revealed that 2 checks totaling $817 were deposited into an account at a bank in Bridgeport using an ATM. By searching ATM photographs and bank records, detectives were able to identify 35-year-old Carlos Ortiz and an accomplice as being the depositors of the check. The investigation further revealed that Ortiz was hired by a cleaning service and only worked 1 day at the daycare facility where the checks were stolen and then never returned to work for the cleaning service. Police obtained an arrest warrant for Ortiz, and on May 13th, Bridgeport Superior Court officials informed police that Ortiz was in the custody of state marshals. He was arrested and booked at the courthouse and charged with second-degree forgery, fifth-degree larceny, and sixth-degree larceny.
Lewisboro, New York resident and former Westchester County Executive Alfred Del Bello has died. State Senator Terrence Murphy confirmed Friday to the Lewisboro Ledger Del Bello was 80 years old. A graduate of Manhattan College and Fordham School of Law, Del Bello was a partner at Del Bello, Donnellan, Weingarten, Weiss, and Whitaker, LLP in White Plains. Born in Yonkers, November 3, 1934, Del Bello rose from a member of his hometown city council to become its mayor in 1970. He was the first Democrat elected county executive and served from 1974 to 1982. He resigned from the post of county executive in 1982 to become lieutenant governor under then New York Governor Mario Cuomo. In December of 1984, Del Bello stepped down as lieutenant governor to work in the private sector as an attorney. That move, according to the Lewisboro Ledger, surprised many at the time. A decade later, Del Bello unsuccessfully sought a state Senate seat representing Westchester County. Current Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino has ordered flags in the county to half-staff in honor of Del Bello. 11:10 on your coffee break.
Thanks, John. Well, Rob, anything changing out there on the roads?
Not a lot so far, Kate. Seems like most of it is just related to construction around the area and lots of road work to talk about, but really not a lot of updates in the past, say, hour or so. We've still got the road work in Manchester on 291, New Britain Route 9 south at exit 30, Hartford 84 west at exit 39A, in Danbury 84 east at exit 7, Southbury you've got road work as well, 84 at exit 13, Cromwell 91 south, Fairfield Merritt Parkway south at exit 44, Black Rock Turnpike, Middletown Route 9 south, Old Saybrook 91 north at exit 70. So just a lot of road work around the area to get you started on what's otherwise a fairly wet, kind of misty start to your work week. As we look at the weather outside, not a pretty day, mostly cloudy, isolated showers late this morning, patchy fog as well, cooler, steady temperatures in the low 60s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight. Chance of showers after midnight, low 54. Showers, thunderstorms tomorrow. Areas of fog in the morning, highs in the lower 70s. We'll be in New Canaan. In fact, tomorrow for lacrosse. We'll be in New Canaan today for baseball. So getting back out and about. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. Chance of showers, low 54. Sunny, high in the upper 60s. 66, in fact, will be the high for Wednesday. Partly cloudy, low in the upper 40s for Wednesday night. Mostly sunny, upper 60s Thursday. Sunny, high in the lower 70s for Friday. I had to get you good news somewhere. 62 right now in the next station to heaven, i.e. New Canaan, Connecticut. Coffee break time, 11:12.
Thanks, Rob. Well, we have a lot more news coming up, as well as one of our special guests, Greg Riley, just arrived. And, John, you're going to be filling in for Don, giving a look back on this day in history. And that's all coming up live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan after this break.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
Spring is finally in the air and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332 and online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
11:15 on your coffee break, live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan. So excited to be here. And John, you are filling in for Don Eng. I guess he's allergic to New Canaan and I don't know. He didn't come today. So tell us what happened this day in
Too much
history.
car exhaust, John?
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
did a great job yesterday.
Oh, he was great.
He loves the car
Loves
events.
that stuff.
He loves the car events. Josh Fisher helping us here. Stop me if you've heard this one before, Josh. One-term congressman and Illinois attorney being nominated for president. Because it happened in 1860 when one-term congressman, failed Senate candidate, and backcountry lawyer Abraham Lincoln won the Republican Party presidential nomination over William Seward, who later became Secretary of State under Lincoln. In 1896, the Supreme Court upheld the, quote, separate but equal policy spelled out in the Plessy versus Ferguson decision. In 1890, the state of Louisiana passed a law, the Separate Car Act, that required separate accommodations for blacks and whites on railroads, including separate railway cars. Some New Orleans residents formed the Committee of Citizens dedicated to repealing the law. They eventually persuaded Homer Plessy to participate in a test case. Plessy was born a freeman and was what they called an octoroon. He was 7/8 European, 1/8 African descent, and appeared white. Under Louisiana law, however, he was classified as black. Plessy took his seat in the whites-only car, then informed the railway, the conductor, that he was actually 1/8 black, and was told to get out of the whites-only car and move to the black car. He refused. He was arrested by a railroad detective, even though railroads had opposed the law. The Supreme Court ruled 7-1 that racial segregation did not imply inferiority, and thus Plessy's 14th Amendment equal protection under the law claim was invalid. Separate but equal would persevere, endure, linger for 58 more years. In 1980, Mount St. Helens erupted in Washington state. 57 people were killed. $3 billion in damage was done. And in 1983, the U.S. Senate revised immigration laws and gave millions of illegal aliens legal status under an amnesty program called the Simpson-Mazzoli Bill. The House failed to take action on the bill, but by 1988, it passed both sides of Congress and was signed by President Ronald Reagan, who famously said this in a 1984 debate with Walter Mondale.
But it is true our borders are out of control. It is also true that this has been a situation on our borders back through a number of administrations. And I supported this bill. I believe in the idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and who have lived here, even though some time back they may have entered illegally.
That Ronald Reagan on amnesty for illegal aliens. That'll do it for history, which we found today kind of repeats itself. John Kovach handing it off to Rob Adams for sports.
You forget how many people perished in Mount St. Helens. I had forgotten the number was that high.
I had too.
Wow.
I had too, and it just amazes me that separate but equal was challenged in 1896.
Yeah.
Upheld by the Supreme Court overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
And then was allowed to continue to exist for almost 6 more decades.
It's amazing, and the history stuff we have come up with, and that's so much a credit to Don. We could do a whole show of that stuff. Anyway, we jump into baseball, and we've got some baseball for you today, as you might have heard of it, and I know I go to this junk all the time, but why not? It's worth repeating. These two teams, Yankees, Red Sox, Notre Dame, Michigan, or Michigan, Ohio State, you might be familiar with New Canaan and Darien. And we're in New Canaan, and we've got Darien right here in the next room, as both Alex Hager and Stephen Barston are here. Stephen Barston, he gets the start later today as the Blue Wave take on the Rams right down the road at Meade Park, 4 o'clock first pitch. Alex, he'll be part of the play-by-play with me as well. Pre-game coverage, 3:55 down at Meade Park. We'll also have Nutmeg Sports. Alex will be a part of that, and we're going to interview Stephen and play that back for you today as well. So that's 2 o'clock today. All of that right here from New Canaan. The Shelton High baseball team defeated Amity High 5-4 in the continuation of a protested SEC Housatonic Division game from May 6th. After the protest was upheld, the game picked up in the bottom of the 5th on Saturday in Woodbridge with a Spartan runner on first and 1 out, and the game tied at 4. Gale's ace right-hander Mike Cowell retired all 8 batters he faced on the mound. 5 via strikeout, and Justin Lynch staked Shelton to a 5-4 lead with an RBI groundout in the top of the 7th. Softball, the John Jay softball team, their 12-game winning streak came to an end. 7-0 loss at Clarkstown South, but they're the top team in Section 1 Class AA in the regular season finale. The Indians fell to 16-4 and should begin the Section 1 Class A playoffs on Thursday with a home game, but seedings will be announced on Tuesday. The boys lacrosse, Foreign High lost a 14-4 decision to Amity High in boys lax on Saturday. Amity improved to 8-4, with the foreign squad now 7-7. Jake Lambert among those who scored. Other winners, how about Greenwich knocking off Darien? So the Blue Wave with another loss in boys lacrosse, 12-11 in overtime, the final score there. I'm waiting for these two Darien guys to come crashing through the French doors to my left and start pummeling me. West Hill beat Trinity Catholic 14-3. Norwalk, Wilton, Ridgefield, Trumbull, St. Anthony's of New York over New Canaan 9-8, and Newtown, the other winners. In girls lacrosse, on its senior day, the Ridgefield High girls lacrosse team defeated Weston 13-8 at Tiger Hollow. The Tigers are now 10-5 overall, 7-2 in the FCAC with one regular season game remaining on Tuesday at home against Danbury. Staples by 10 over Norwalk. Danbury knocks off St. Joe's by 1, and Greenwich over Convent of the Sacred Heart in an all-Greenwich matchup, 17-11. All the way down we go to a little kicker note here. A pair of John Jay Middle School graduates celebrated individual achievements in sports television coverage at the 36th Annual Sports Emmy Awards in New York on May 5th. Kimberly Brown and L.J. Rader, both 2003 graduates of John Jay Middle School, won a total of 3 awards for their respective work at the Olympic Winter Games in Sochi. Rader's award was for outstanding new approaches in sports event coverage, which is what we're trying to accomplish here, while Brown won 2 of her own, one in event coverage like her former classmate, and another for outstanding new approaches in sports programming. Isn't that us?
We're trying.
We're trying every day. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Coffee break time, 11:23.
Thanks, Rob. Well, we are joined now by New Canaan advertiser editor Greg Riley. Greg, we haven't seen you in person in a while.
I know. I miss you guys.
I know. You've been in New Canaan. We've been in Shelton, but now we're here at
3
Weed
months.
and Duryea, so it's perfect. We get to visit.
Good to see you again.
How are things going at the advertiser?
Well, it's not dull here in New Canaan.
No, we talked to Michael on Friday.
Yes. So, big story brewing with the police sergeant termination hearing. And that is a developing story, and we're on top of that and getting most of the information on an exclusive basis. So that is good. And other issues going on. Well, we have Memorial Day coming up. Memorial Day is a big day.
In New Canaan.
In New Canaan, with the parade and the services at the ceremony at the cemetery. So that is something that everyone looks forward to and builds their weekend around here.
It's
for
a
next
great
Monday.
parade.
It is. Yeah, I've marched in it.
I have as well.
Yeah, I bet you
look
have.
at you
I
guys.
have as well.
Sure.
Celebrities. And so for a little background, we talked to Michael Katarivas last week about that story he's been covering on these police commission hearings. Can you just give a little bit of background on that? I know it's his story and he's working on it still.
Well, the police commission, the chief of police would like the Sergeant Milligan terminated for allegedly keeping his wife on the town's insurance policy. And so that is causing a stir, and the sergeant, who happens to be the head of the policemen's union, is fighting back hard. And so his attorneys are being very aggressive and suggesting ill motives, perhaps, on the part of the chief and others in town. So he's not going to fade away easily, is Sergeant Milligan.
And that case continued till the 29th, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
so both sides can regroup and
Yes.
decide where they're going to go. What I saw on your online today email this morning that I found interesting, and I don't disagree that he is because I know him, but after the whole Outback Teen Center funding controversy comes the announcement that youth is the new focus of Town Hall.
That is correct.
I find the timing curious.
Well, I think that Rob Malazzi, first selectman, has had this in mind for perhaps a year. I'll tell you, he has been troubled personally and even emotionally, I think he would say, by some of the drug incidents that have been found around New Canaan, whether it be binge drinking or even heroin, which is sometimes not always identified, absolutely, but is suspected in a couple of cases, even deaths. So he has taken it under his own wing to fortify the organizations that are supporting youths in New Canaan. And so this is an attempt to form an umbrella organization and get all of the perhaps a dozen organizations that exist in town that support youths to get them to collaborate and work together.
And perhaps best known, New Canaan Cares, which has been around for decades. New Canaan does have a number of private volunteer organizations that are working to fight substance abuse.
Absolutely. And they tend to be based right at the high school. And,
Yes.
and they get the kids involved, and the kids are not just followers, but they're now taking the lead with something called the RAM Council.
That was the name I was trying to come up with.
Right.
So we had them on last year when we broadcast from Sidewalk Sale Day.
Yes.
And they are at the school, and they're trying to get into the middle school, which they say is a pivotal time to reach these kids.
Sure, of course.
Their excitement about the baseball game this afternoon, Darien, New Canaan?
Well, just a little bit, yes. Yeah, my son, I got to tell you, my son was the captain of New Canaan just 3 years ago. So if you want an exclusive interview, I might be able to set that up for you. He's home from college. But, yes, that's a great rivalry, and Mead Park will be alive and buzzing and exploding with crowd, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, Greg, I mean, we're here live at Weed and Duryea. I mean, it's just one of those New Canaan businesses that has a long history and is really unique to the community. I mean, would you say, as editor, that you work a lot with the local businesses and keep up to date on what they're doing?
We do. We, as I'll be honest, and I had a meeting with a business owner last week, and sometimes we only hear about the businesses that are going out or the ones that are struggling or complaining. But in fact, there are many businesses doing very well. And this business is outstanding with their customer service. They've remodeled the store. They've, tuned up their merchandise offering. But you come in here on a Saturday and you can't walk 8 or 10 feet without finding a person to help you and direct you or help you select what you want to select. So they're doing a great job here.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
It really is a beautiful store. It's small enough that you're not going to get lost. I mean, some of the big box stores, some of the big home improvement stores, I think my favorite reference to them was a Beavis and Butthead when Anderson went to Home Labyrinth.
Home Labyrinth, right.
No,
but this is not
here,
that.
Everything's right here. There's plenty here, but it's all a manageable size.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, I don't think you can think of anything that you would want at Home Depot that you cannot get here. So they may not have it in the depth of inventory, but they have what you need.
And also stuff you can get at Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, there's kitchen utensils, there's shampoos. I see some greeting cards. I see, Gorilla Tape.
And that's important.
And don't forget.
And Yankee keys.
And don't forget, outside is another whole business.
Yes.
Greg's Nursery and Landscaping. And he, too, does a great job all around town, but selling plants and bushes and doing the installation. Greg Sturba is a great guy, and his mother, Judy, are here on premises.
Yeah, it really is. It's just your quintessential old-school hometown hardware store where you can walk in.
Which is so unusual nowadays.
It truly is.
Yeah.
But you're going to walk in, somebody's going to help you, you're not going to get lost.
Right. Well,
absolutely.
Greg, before we let you go back to work, what are you working on this week?
Well, we've got the Milligan stories. There'll be multiple. I'm trying to get into some more detail about a proposed Sachs Middle School renovation. That started with the idea of renovating the auditorium for just $5 million. And it's now looking at a $17 million project to expand the school because enrollment in New Canaan is growing. Unlike most towns in New Canaan.
Down.
Enrollment in New Canaan is growing. And a lot of people suspect the primary reason for that is great schools. So we're beating the trend around the state with increasing enrollment, and they need to increase the size of the middle school. So I am getting into some more details to help the community understand the choices that they will be facing. And so that's my big story for the week.
Is that an all or nothing, or is it something where they compare some off to make it more attractive?
They've actually have 3 options. But they've narrowed it down to 3A and 3B. So there's 2 options that they're really considering. And one is one is 13 million, one is 17 million, and it's a difference of about 10,000 square feet would be the difference. And so those again, I like to help the community in their decision making and informing them, not just after it's all done, of course, but to help them understand what the choices are. So now's the time for that.
And in 1997, when I took over the advertiser, one of the big stories was the renovation of Sachs Middle School.
Well, they did it. They did it, John. They just didn't do it large enough.
Exactly.
They were conservative in their estimates, and they now are over capacity already, with projected enrollments to go even further.
Wow. All right. Well, ncadvertiser.com. You guys do a great job. Greg Riley, thanks so much for joining us.
Nice to be with you.
Well, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back with more Coffee Break after this, live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
Spring is finally in the air, and our favorite season is upon us. The Dock Shop is all geared up with a great selection of fishing tackle, custom fishing rods, and all the latest accessories to replenish your tackle box. The Dock Shop has also just brought out the newest spring fashion apparel from Montauk Tackle, Altered Latitudes, Kaylee Smith, and Margaritaville Apparel. Need some new foul weather gear for those chilly spring mornings? The Dock Shop is loaded up with Grundens and Stormer in a variety of styles and sizes. Ladies, we've got you covered as well with spring apparel and the newest designs of coastal jewelry, bags, and accessories. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, Connecticut. Visit us at dockshop.com.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
It's 11:35 on your coffee break, live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan. I'm Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach. I almost called you Jack. Rob Adams.
You can. That's
and
all right.
We're here.
Can we call you Al?
We'll talk about it. But we're here with Bill Finn. Bill, you're Director of Sales.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I'm the Director of Contractor Sales, so I work with our professional contractors in the area with new construction, development, and renovation work for the community here in New Canaan.
Wow. So you're a big part of this area we're standing in right now?
Absolutely. This showroom was a vision that we had probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and it came to fruition about 3 years ago when we completed the 3,000 square foot window and door showroom with our kitchen and decking offerings as well.
I mean, it's a beautiful area that we're in. We've all joked since we came in here and said, okay, this is where we're going to go to. We're never going to be able to go back to our Shelton studio in the office without a granite countertop and the cabinets behind us. Tell us about the room that we're in right now.
Sure. The layout here is a showroom that's designed to display architectural windows and doors that are consistent with the area architecture. We have new construction windows, replacement windows, sliding patio doors, and we also have some very specialized product from one of our manufacturers, LePage Millwork, which has turn-of-the-century reproduction type windows with weight and chain and things you would see in old Victorian homes and things of that nature. So we have quite a wide variety of products that are available for people to see when they come into the showroom.
Wow. And would you say that is very unique to this business, that, it's not a huge, giant big box store, but you have this great showroom right here?
Yeah, and so much of what we do is customized to the local community and to what their needs are. The products that we have here are very, very different than what you would see in box stores. For example, we have French in-swing casement windows with Cremone bolt hardware, which are, they're breathtaking, breathtaking products. We have retractable screen options. We just did a nice job for a local homeowner where they actually have a screen porch that's on bluestone, and the screen is completely retractable.
Oh, wow.
So it's an open bluestone patio during the day, but in the evening when they put their TV on and their fireplace and whatnot, they can enclose that same room with these retractable panels, and it's really, really state-of-the-art design and services that we offer here.
That sounds amazing. So you can do a custom to fit pretty much whatever the homeowner is looking to accomplish?
Absolutely, and we have things, as you would imagine, on the traditional architecture, colonial architecture, period architecture, but we also have people that are doing contemporary work now. It seems as though people are looking for larger glass areas, more daylight opening. We're doing a really exciting project right now in New Canaan where some people came in to see us, and we actually have radiant heat glass. So it allows the glass to emit heat inside the room. So not only are you not losing the heat to the outside, but the glass is actually generating heat to the inside. And while many people would think that would be done for energy conservation purposes, it's really done for room comfort. Because if you've ever been into maybe an oceanside restaurant, if you sit too close to the windows, it's a little drafty. So this radiant heat glass is an option that allows the room to have a much, much more positive ambiance to it and comfort level. With humidity, you don't get that air and convection cycling.
Just out of curiosity, can you control the amount of heat, or is it based on the sunlight?
Well, when you talk about controls and you talk about technology that's out there, it's all smart controls. It's all iPad enhanced. People can do it from their phone.
That's incredible.
It's web based. It's very, very, very nice stuff. And it also changes when you look at heating systems. Oftentimes you see big heating ducts over windows and doors, and you have to put them there because of the heat loss through those units. Well, by having that radiant heat glass, you now have all kinds of different options in terms of where you locate heat ducts in a room. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
And yet you balance what we talked about a little bit ago amongst ourselves here. This isn't this big, imposing monolith of a store where you're going to get lost and they're going to have to send dogs out to find you, where it's small enough that people are going to come help you, that there's stuff here from kitchen gadgets to shampoos to household goods to keys to extension cords and power sources that are so often in desperate need.
Right.
And you juggle all of that.
Well, it's interesting. We try to think of ourselves as being solution providers for the people in the community. Oftentimes people that come in, they're looking for something, or they're looking for a solution to some problem they have, a cabinet hinge or something. So we tend to staff the store with people who are knowledgeable in home repair and home maintenance. And at the same time, we have products that are in the store which are new and upcoming that generate a lot of interest. And we do a lot of events here at the store to educate people. So we'll do Weber cooking demonstrations, and we'll have the Weber people here, and we'll have decking weekends where we'll have all the different, whether it be wood or we do a big barbecue business. In fact, I remember when I first came to the store, somebody called and was inquiring if we had received the new pizza plates that they use on the green egg, and I didn't even know what a green egg was. I had to come back around, and this green egg is this big smoker cooker that apparently does like many different things, bake and everything. And so yeah, we have a lot of people who come in and look for accessories to products, and as products evolve and new accessories come out, we try to display those things. But barbecuing is a big part. The whole outdoor living space is a bigger part of today's homeowner lifestyle. They're trying to do fire pits and outdoor living and cooking and trying to extend the season as long as they
Once
can.
Once winter's over, we want to get out there, as soon as possible. Well, Bill, if people want more information, I mean, what's the best way to either get in touch with you or find out more about the services offered?
Sure. Well, you can call the store here in New Canaan at 203-966-2673. And if you're looking for anything regarding building materials or installation of those, you can ask for me. My name is Bill Finn. Thank you.
Great, Bill. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. We love being here. Guys, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more after this.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's easy to advertise on HANradio.com. Reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Mary Ann Hersam at 203-417-5199.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
It's 11:44 on your coffee break, live from Weed and Duryea in New Canaan. Kate Czaplinski, John Kovach, Rob Adams, and the rest of our HAN Network team. You can see us live in the showroom right now at hanradio.com/live stream. Rob, we haven't looked at the roads in a while. Anything going on out there?
We have not looked at it in a while. Let's see. Well, the important one that I wanted to pass along was the N2 outbound. No. What we do is we always take a look on the various sources, folks. And one of the things we do is we look at CT traffic, hashtag CT traffic. Well, in Cape Town, South Africa, it's become hashtag CT traffic. So I saw one of those go by before, John. And that actually happened a couple of months ago where I think I was doing traffic that morning.
Yes, you were.
So the N2 outbound between Rudenblom and Hospital Bend has normal PM peak traffic. I thought you'd like to know that if you're watching in Cape Town. All right, let's get serious now.
We could have somebody watching from Cape Town.
Route 8 southbound is closed at exit 42 after an earlier rollover crash. A note on Twitter that the Bethel Police Department are issuing what is being described in a quote on this tweet as endless tickets at their stop on Coal Pit Hill Road. Now we get back to the other bits and pieces of traffic. We've got Manchester, problems, road work, 291 westbound at exit 5, New Britain on Route 9 south at exit 30, West Hartford 84 westbound at exit 39A, Danbury 84 eastbound at exit 7, Southbury 84 eastbound at exit 13, and in Groton 95 south at exit 88. Still seems to be a problem in Fairfield on the Merritt Parkway southbound at Route 44, or at exit 44, excuse me, that's Route 58 Black Rock Turnpike. That's what I was trying to say. As for our weather, a quick look at that. that. Cloudy day, isolated showers late this morning, then patchy fog late this morning as well, and we all saw that as we drove in here today. Cooler, high really only in the low 60s, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight. Showers likely tomorrow, 72 for the high, 66 and sunny for Wednesday, 69 and sunny for Thursday, and sunny and 72 for Friday here in New Canaan at 11:46. Only sitting at 61 degrees, John. So we've got to warm it up if we want some baseball later.
Yeah, the shorts idea was a brilliant move.
Well, it made sense initially because we thought we'd be setting up for the broadcast. So, we tend to get, kind of...
Gets a little warm.
Yeah,
it
gets a little warm.
Involved.
Well done. Well played by you, sir. So,
That's what I do.
It is what you do, and you do a fine job with it. And now what? Should I do sports?
You can do sports.
Okay, I'll do sports. Thanks, guys. We start by taking a look back over the weekend at a few things. The Shelton High baseball team defeated Amity High 5-4 in a continuation of a protested SEC game from May 6th. After the protest was upheld, the game picked up in the bottom of the fifth inning on Saturday afternoon in Woodbridge with a Spartan runner on first and one out, and the game tied at 4. Gale's ace right-hander Mike Cowell retired all 8 batters he faced on the mound, 5 via strikeout, and Justin Lynch staked Shelton to a 5-4 lead with an RBI ground out in the top of the 7th. Shelton now 12-5 on the year. John Jay's softball team in New York, their 12-game winning streak came to an end on Sunday with a 7-0 loss at Clarkstown South. They are the top team in Section 1 Class AA. That was the regular season finale as well. The Indians fell to 16-4 on the season and should begin the Section 1 Class A playoffs on Thursday with a home game. Seedings will be announced on Tuesday. Foreign High in boys lacrosse lost a 14-4 decision to Amity High on Saturday. Amity improved to 8-4, while the foreign squad drops to 7-7. Jake Lambert among those who scored goals for the Lions, who trailed at the break 6-2, 7-3, and 10-3. A little bit of a surprise from FCAC lacrosse as Greenwich knocked off Darien in overtime 12-11, so all of a sudden the Blue Wave struggling just a little bit on the lacrosse field. West Hull over Trinity Catholic 14-3, Norwalk 11, Stanford 4, Wilton by 9 over McMahon 17-8, Ridgefield by 2 touchdowns over Ward 22-8, Trumbull doubled up Bethel 12-6, St. Anthony's of New York 9, New Canaan 8, and Newtown over Staples 7-6. So interesting that both New Canaan and Darien suffering some losses, considering right now the Rams are considered to be the top team in the state. Girls lacrosse on its senior day, the Ridgefield High girls lacrosse team defeated Weston 13-8 Saturday at Tiger Hollow. Ridgefield now 10-5 overall, 7-2 in the FCAC with one regular season game remaining on Tuesday at home against Danbury. Staples by 10 over Norwalk 17-7, Danbury 14, St. Joe's 13, and Greenwich beat Convent of the Sacred Heart 17-11. Among the topics on the schedule for today, Darien plays New Canaan at Mead Park. Stephen Barston, our own Stephen Barston of HAN Radio, gets the start for the Blue Wave. Game time 4 p.m. pregame coverage beginning at 3:55. Alex Hager will join me for the call. Alex will also be with me for Nutmeg Sports at 2, also live from Mead Park. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Coffee break time 11:49.
Thanks, Rob. Just an interesting note just came across Twitter, and I kind of want to send everybody's best wishes out to both people here. This from Dr. David Teitel, who is Fairfield Superintendent of Schools. He's at Fairfield Super on Twitter, and he is pleased to report that post-kidney transplant, both the donor, Dr. Teitel, and his son, the recipient, are doing well, and they thank Yale New Haven Hospital for their care. Mm-hmm. So a kidney transplant where the Fairfield Superintendent of Schools has donated to his son, both doing well according to Dr. Teitel.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thanks, John. Well, getting back to some other news this morning, Fairfield firefighters say an aggressive attack saved a house on Pine Creek Avenue from fire around 7:30 Friday evening. Neighbors of the house called 911 after seeing smoke and fire from the rear of the structure. Upon arrival, Fairfield Fire Lieutenant Brian McHugh reported heavy smoke and fire coming from underneath the home. This house, along with many located along the shoreline in Fairfield, are raised up and supported on pillars to protect them from floodwater floodwaters, such as what occurred during Superstorm Sandy, the fire was burning underneath the structure in an area often used for storage. Lieutenant McHugh and the crew of Engine 1 advanced a hose line and began attacking the fire underneath the structure. He ordered Ladder 1 to search the house that was rapidly filling with smoke for occupants and pets. No one was home at the time of the fire. Firefighters said flames were confined to the underside and lowest level of the building. Fairfield police assisted with the precautionary evacuation of a neighboring house, provided traffic control. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the Fairfield Fire Marshal's office.
Those houses are very close to each other. It's right down on the beach.
Like what
and
we saw in Milford.
Yes.
How that fire spread because they were very close beach houses.
Feet apart. They really, truly are. Firefighters in Fairfield, Kate, were also involved Thursday and Friday mornings in mock crashes that we've seen at a lot of high schools around the area as prom time comes, just to show students what can happen on a prom night gone bad. They're hosted by the schools to the assembled junior classes to illustrate the dangers of distracted driving or drunken driving. Reenactors rehearse their roles for weeks. Actual police, firefighters, and paramedics respond, and then the actors, who are students, played a role of the victims. One was arrested, taken away in handcuffs. They're cut from wrecked cars using hydraulic tools. Patients are boarded and collared and taken by stretcher. And the final victim was placed in a black bag from Lesko and Polk Funeral Home, serving in place of the state medical examiner. A real graphic illustration that a lot of schools do this time of year as proms and the party season with graduation starts to heat up.
Thanks, John. Well, moving over to Bridgeport, Bridgeport Mayor Bill Finch announced Sunday that Nob Hill Park is open for kids and families across the city to enjoy. The site of Nob Hill Park, which sits at 115 Virginia Avenue, featuring a bike loop, splash pad, horseshoe lanes, picnic areas, and a playground named after a longtime city leader, Anna Migliore, once was proposed as a destination for a juvenile detention center. In 2009, Governor Jody Rell proposed a $15 million in funding for a new 36,000 square foot juvenile detention and treatment center for teenage girls to be built on the site at 115 Virginia Avenue. For months following Governor Rell's announcement, neighbors and elected officials, including Mayor Finch, then State Representative Chris Caruso, and then State Senator Anthony Musto, successfully rallied against the proposal. The state subsequently sold the land to Bridgeport for $1. Also in attendance were members of the Migliore family who were on hand to join Mayor Finch in cutting the ribbon to celebrate the opening of the playground. Migliore was a community leader in the Nob Hill neighborhood who passed away at the age of 85 in 2011. Coffee break time is 11:53.
Kate, Lewisboro is going to hold a hearing tonight, Monday, May 18th, at the Townhouse on a proposed amendments to one of the main sections of its affordable housing law. The Workforce Housing Coalition, an activist group, is now come forward contending that the town of Lewisboro owes Westchester County $500,000 for money the county provided the town in 2003 to purchase the Houlihan property on Meade Street in Wacabuck, now known as the Old Field Preserve. The property was priced at $4.2 million. Josh Fisher, who was once editor of the Lewisboro Ledger, shaking his head and staring off into the distance. He's heard this story before. Lewisboro Town Supervisor Peter Parsons told the Ledger Tuesday that Westchester County spent $1 million and acquired two-thirds interest in the property. The agreement called for Lewisboro to make a good faith effort to build 129 units of affordable housing in town by September of 2013, or be required to pay back half of the $1 million put up by the county. You can read more on this complicated and seems multi-layered story at lewisboroledger.com.
Thanks, John. Well, more than 1,900 Sacred Heart University students set off into the world this weekend after receiving diplomas and words of advice from business and political leaders, scholars, and classmates. University President John Patillo reminded the graduates that he was inaugurated as president at the same ceremony 4 years ago where they were installed as freshmen. He said, "At your installation, I strongly suggested that you use these 4 years to discover and be curious about the liberal arts, your prospective profession, profession, and more importantly, yourself. He said today's celebratory event should be a point of reflection for each of you. He called it a gateway for them to continue to be curious and hungry for learning. George Mitchell, former U.S. Senator from Maine and former State Senate Majority Leader, received an honorary Doctor of Law degree before addressing the class of 2015. And it's graduation season, John, so we're going to be seeing a lot of those stories coming up.
We will be seeing a lot of them. 11:55 on your coffee break. Check in with Rob.
I found something kind of fun in the past few minutes. Sometimes Twitter will pop up and say, this, that, and the other, Josh Fisher, Kate Czaplinski, John Kovach are all following A.J. Simonowski or something like that will pop up on Twitter. And I saw this just now come across that a bunch of things that I follow are following something that is called @POTUS. So I thought, okay, I'll take a look at it. Says it's President Obama with a check mark next to it, and only 16 minutes ago he tweeted the following: "Hello, Twitter, it's Barack. Really, 6 years in, they're finally giving me my own account." Says it's verified. President of the United States, dad, husband, and 44th President of the United States. Tweets may be archived, so he already has 44,000 followers, and I thought that was kind of funny to see.
Wow.
Just came across about 20 minutes ago.
Nice.
Makes him, I believe, the first president on Twitter, correct?
I think that would be.
I think that's a fair.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember if former
Our
President
resident
Clinton is
Twitter
on.
expert is shaking his head yes, so
Is
we're going to
former
trust
President
him.
Clinton on? I'm not sure.
Oh.
John, what else is going on?
Well, another is the Weston Board of Selectmen has accepted a $1,500 gift to the Weston Police Department from the Vranos Family Foundation. The donation was given with no restrictions on its use. Weston Police Chief John Troxell said the money will likely be used to purchase some things that were removed from the department's original budget request for the upcoming year, such as new helmets.
Thanks, John. Well, with more than 800 graves of local veterans to decorate with flags, Ridgefield's American Legion is looking for help. The American Legion's annual grave decorating detail will be on May 22nd, the Friday evening before Memorial Day. Volunteers should report to the American Legion Hall on North Salem Road near the intersection of New Street and across from the cemetery on Friday evening, May 22nd by 6. After a very brief instruction on the proper placement of the flags, volunteers will be dispersed into the cemeteries. Legionnaires will be stationed around the cemetery as informational guides. The Legion suggests volunteers bring a large screwdriver or a tool to make a guide hole for the placement of the flags. Coffee break time is 11:57.
Want to take a look at the roads since traffic was so
Sure.
wonderful this morning?
Yes. Oh, it was great.
And yes, former President Clinton is on Twitter.
But that's
Indeed.
a former.
That is a former.
Former.
First
Yes.
sitting
Sitting
president.
president,
Yes.
yeah.
Without a doubt. So we have clarified that. Anyway, here at 11:58, a final check of traffic. Not much has changed. You've still got the road work in Fairfield, Merritt Parkway southbound at exit 44. That's Route 58, Black Rock Turnpike. Road work 395 North Way at the eastern edge of the state. That's exit 80, which now you're talking up near Norwich and the nice people at Norwich Free Academy. We've also got Route 8 southbound closed at exit 42. As well as Route 8, Route 8 south at exit 42, same note there. Manchester 291 westbound. So all the other road work things that we've been seeing, that continues to go on. As for your weather, a chilly day, mostly cloudy, isolated showers, patchy fog, cooler, as I mentioned, near steady temperatures around 60. Mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, 54 for the low. 72 showers and thunderstorms likely tomorrow, fog as well for your start to Tuesday. Chance of showers and more of the same, 54 for the low Tuesday night. Sunny, highs in the upper 60s for Wednesday. Same for Thursday, except 69, 72 for Friday with sun as we round out the regular season. Don't forget, we're back in a couple of hours, not only for Nutmeg Sports at 2, but then Darien, New Canaan, and baseball at 4. 61 here in Greenwich. Coffee break time, or rather here in New Canaan, excuse me. Coffee break time just about noon as I throw it back to you guys. Wow.
What was it?
Thanks,
we were
Rob.
The granite countertop,
I don't know.
the rich wood tones of the cabinets.
I don't know what happened. It was the coffee.
There you go.
I took
this
a break.
has been fun, guys. I've liked hanging out at Weed and Duryea and New Canaan.
It's always fun to go to these stores, and it's something I'd like to see us do more. If you've got a place and want us, you can reach out to us and suggest that we come visit and do a remote?
I'm torn. Part of me wants to never go anywhere else again because I like this setup.
I know.
But I like going other places too because I like meeting the people and seeing the different atmospheres. So, I'll take it either way.
That's going to do it for your coffee break live from Weed and Duryea. Enjoy your Monday. Hopefully it clears up this afternoon. Rob will be back with Nutmeg Sports at 2. Baseball from just around the corner. Darien and New Canaan at 4.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio? You can find us on Twitter at Hersam Radio, on Facebook at Hersam Acorn Radio, or email us at radio@hersamacorn.com.
Next. 5, 4, 3,